power. And when I was giving my presentation, I came to a conclusion last week that technological imperialism is something that really matters for the development of Latin America. Maybe us, we are all willing to develop, we want to, but does the rest of the world, I mean those that really have the power, want us to develop? So I would like you to discuss something about this.
I don't think that I can give a, I don't know, please, I think if anybody has a better answer than me, go ahead. But you are asking me, so I'm going to try to answer. I don't think there are two thinkers that proposed that there are vast parts of the world that are delinked, totally delinked from the world dynamics. One was Fernando Enrique Cardoso in 1984. He talked about a fourth world of despair, and the other is Manuel Castells. But I don't think, well, if you are absolutely delinked, nobody is going to care if you develop or not. Okay? But if you are not delinked, then I think that the power, the world powers, care about your development because they need you, they need what you are able or not able to offer if you develop or you do not develop. So I wouldn't say, of course, the development they may want us to have is not a good one. It's not a development a la Amartya Sen. That is what we want. But, you know, in terms of economic growth, in terms of literacy even, you know, in Latin America, the U.S. Army in 1965 invaded Guatemala because they wanted to do the agrarian reform. But they imposed the agrarian reform in South Korea. So the imperialism in powers of the world do not act the same way in any place, in any time. So I would say that knowing that we are not alone in the world, knowing that power is there with their own agenda, we need to care about our own development, with our own agenda, with our own strategy, and with our own theory. And this last is not a trivial part of the story. Yes?
Yeah. When you also, on the research, I was trying to get what you're trying to say that your research agenda is just opening the window. I agree with that, but I also would want to say that it's not just a matter of opening the window. The research can also come with solutions. I want to get you right there. Or if you're just trying to say just opening the windows, I believe that through your research, you can also bring up some solutions. So I was looking at the conclusion you are trying to make that, were you just trying to say that just opening the windows? I don't...
No.
Okay.
The point is the following. Let me say it in another way.
Yeah.
If you don't ask a question, you are not going to find an answer. When I say opening a window, I say opening room for making questions that usually researchers don't. Okay. If you make the question, you can find a solution or not. Research is an open end. You never know. But what is sure, if you only look there, because the papers are there, because the prestige are there, because the money is there, and poor people, they don't pay. They don't even know what they need in terms of knowledge. I know so much, they know so little. I go there. If you open a window, so, okay, perhaps some questions can get an answer. This is our point. And this is extremely difficult. You have to fight against everything. Against, the academic prestige system is terrible. And now, I don't know, your universities are mad or are not mad about the rankings? In which place of the ranking are we? And the deans are saying, okay, you have to publish 10 more times, if not, I'm going to fire you, because if not, my university, and what pay in terms of publishing?
It's a publish or perish.
To publish or perish, and like John Simon said, to apply or to die. Okay? And between publish and perish and apply or to die, the research agenda goes that way. And the problem of development are there. So how could you shift? This is extremely, what we are doing is extremely modest. It's so small. But this is what we can do at our university. And, let me tell you, if we don't fight, if you don't want to be dramatic, don't tell fight. Tell work, whatever, doesn't matter. For an inclusive system of development. An inclusive system of innovation. What we are doing in the university is going to be an anecdote more that will not scale up. So we need to work at the university, or we need to work at the, how do you call it, the small and medium enterprises? SEBRAE. You can work at SEBRAE, or you can work there. Small things, but you have to integrate it in a collective will to take seriously the redressing of the knowledge-based inequality. Okay? So I answer your question?
Yeah.
Good.
Sure.
Thank you, Professor Sutz. My question is related to the last slide, but connected to some of the other questions.
These are the other ones.
This one is good. About the appropriate posture for a researcher who is at once a member of an elite group by virtue of his education, possibly by class and wealth and ethnicity and gender if you're a man, and so on and so forth. And of course, even when you study a subject, the observer, as you said, the theory defines what you see, necessarily imposes a lens on the subject. So what is the posture? Are you, Frantz Fanon was a theorist, a Marxist theorist from Martinique, who lived in Africa as a worker for the French colonial government, but then when he got to Africa, he switched sides. But he said the African elite needs to be de-eliticized. The African elite needs to commit class suicide. So in other words, we as academics, for instance, we as researchers, when we try to address problems of inequality, and that inequality may be as a consequence of some of the advantages that we have, should we be able to identify with those groups to the extent, as a man, I can only identify with a woman so much, of course, but what is the appropriate posture
Okay.
is my question.
First of all, nothing is less, from my thinking, as the classic anybody. And I don't think that researchers or academics or intellectual university people or whatever is really directly guilty because of knowledge-based inequality. Okay? Let's put it that way. But you are right, that not because of class or gender or ethnicity, but because it is incredibly difficult to identify the kind of problems, social problems, that knowledge is able to cooperate to solve. Because our experience, we make a huge workshop, and the President of the Republic comes when we launch our program, okay? 400 people, in my country is a lot of people, with the President of the Republic, and what is the purpose of the workshop? Please tell us which the problems are. Silence. Or, well, we have an organic farm in the neighborhood. We need more land. But we in the university, we cannot give you more land. We are with knowledge, not with land. This is your problem. Go to the municipality. Don't come to us, okay? But this is always the story, because identifying the role of knowledge in solving problems is far from easy. This is why I insist, if we don't have social policies that tell us which the problems are, it's very difficult. I am going to tell you, we have time to tell a story?
Yes.
Okay. This is a wonderful story. The story is, I think that no, it wasn't, it was Matt Lawrence, yesterday in the van, I told the story. The story is simple as such.